Hi, I'm Jarrad Brown, Australian expat financial planner based here in Singapore. Welcome to my video series. Victor Hugo once said that 40 is the old age of youth and 50 is the youth of old age. So on that note, today I'd like to share with you my top finance tips for those of you in your 40s. Many people view the 40s as the time that all of the financial burdens, the serious ones, all start hitting at once. The kids are either in high school or university, you've got huge tuition bills to pay, there's a mortgage you're trying to get rid of, you're trying to save for your retirement. All of these things are happening all at once. And often it's the peak of our career, or certainly getting there, we're working long hours and trying to make all of these things, all of these balls we've got to juggle, making sure that we don't drop any and we've got the right plans in place. Because after all, having no plan in place could be just as bad as having a bad plan that you're working towards. So let's dive into my top tips. I hope you find them helpful. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you again for tuning in. So let's dive in. Now, my first tip for you is to check out any employee benefits that are offered by your company that you work for. Now, many will offer basic health insurance, but it's important to speak to your HR manager, speak to your boss, ask if you can get a copy of the employee handbook and find out what's actually on offer. Are they offering matching contributions for your retirement or superannuation? Are they offering discounted share purchase plans for their staff? Is there some other way that you can boost your wealth accumulation and boost your retirement plans? Check it out and take advantage of whatever makes sense for you. My second tip for you is to stop thinking that your mandatory pension, CPF, superannuation contributions are going to be enough. If you do what everyone else is doing, you'll get what everyone else is going to get. And that may not be enough for you. If you want to retire on an annual income of $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year, chances are the mandatory superannuation contributions are not going to be enough to get you there. So start thinking about your own goals and make sure that you're actually on track. You have the right plans in place, the right vehicles, the right saving strategies, all working towards your end goals. My third tip for you is to automate your bill payments. Utilities, Netflix, cable, mobile phone bills, whatever it may be. If you don't need to, don't waste your time having to log into your internet banking, transfer the money, check your bill, file it away. That time could be spent doing things that you actually want to do or working towards your financial goals. Now, I'm not saying ignore your bills entirely. Certainly do periodically check them, make sure you're not being overcharged, or check out if you could actually be saving some money, but make it so these things are actually out of sight, out of mind, and you can focus on what's truly important. My fourth tip for you is to make sure you're saving for tuition. If you're planning to pay for your kids' university or high school or whatever it may be, either fully or partially, make sure you have plans in place, make sure you're saving, you're contributing, the investments are sensible based on the time frame you have. If they're looking to go to the US or the UK or Australia, wherever it may be to study, make sure again you're considering the currencies when it comes to the investment strategy, but make sure you have a plan in place and you're contributing to that regularly. My fifth tip for you is to give back if you're not already. Now, obviously this is not something I'm going to or looking to force upon anyone, but if you do have your favorite causes, something that's important to you, set up a way to give back. Now that might be volunteering your time, it might be contributing to something regularly. As a Rotarian, I would certainly recommend checking out the Rotary clubs. The Singapore Rotary Club, there's plenty of Rotary organisations here in Singapore. They're doing some incredible work, so get along to a meeting if you haven't already, see how you can get involved. If you're younger, you can check out the Rotaract clubs as well. There's some great stuff going on. Just make sure that you've got a plan in place to do what actually matters to you. Now, I'm a big believer in that money has a certain energy and that those that are generous with it will often seek rewards later in life. Now, whether you call that karma, you call that energy, or whatever other word you choose to use, I certainly believe there's huge benefits with being generous with your wealth in a sensible manner. My sixth tip for you is to review your protection levels. So here I'm talking about your life insurance, disability cover, critical illness or trauma cover, your income protection cover. Is it right for you? Is it too much? Often if your children are getting a bit older, you may have thought about covering their entire school fees when you set up the cover in the first place. So it's important to review the levels of cover, which provider, could it be any cheaper? Could you actually switch it to another provider, hold it in your superannuation, whatever it may be, review your insurances with your advisor and make sure that you're getting, or that you're actually set up with an appropriate level, an appropriate strategy for yourself. If there are covers you don't need anymore, get rid of them. $1 saved is $1 earned after all, and if it's not going to do you any harm by getting rid of certain policies, then go ahead and do so. My 7th tip for you is to make a plan to get rid of any outstanding debt that is sensible for you to do so. Now, here I'm not suggesting that you can't go into retirement with a mortgage or investment debt, but if there are large non-tax deductible loans, like a mortgage on your own home, have a plan for how you're going to pay that down. Now, that might be paying it down into retirement, it might be accessing some of your superannuation or another investment, it might be utilising your CPF when you move back to Australia. Whatever your plan, just make sure that you have one in place and make sure that you're thinking about how you're going to get rid of these mortgages in future. My 8th and final tip for you in your 40s is to never ask a barber if you need a haircut. Now, this quote comes from Warren Buffett, so certainly some valuable information there. And here I mean, when you're in your 40s, chances are you're at peak income, you're really accumulating wealth, and you're going to meet an awful lot of barbers. Now, here I'm talking about the FX trading experts, the crypto scams. There is just so much online all day, every single day. So it's very important to make sure that you're working with the right professionals, trusted, regulated advice to ensure that your finances are actually aligned to your own financial goals. Now, I'm not suggesting that all crypto is bad or anything like that. I'm just suggesting to be careful and seek advice from the right, regulated, authorized people in the jurisdiction that you are in. I hope you found these tips helpful. I hope they've given you some food for thought at least. If you have anything else you'd like to add, drop it in the comments. As I said, don't forget to subscribe. Really appreciate you tuning in. I look forward to seeing you next time.